Before the rise of Greece, before Rome laid its foundations, two ancient civilizations flourished, side by side but worlds apart. On one side, the mighty Nile cradled the kingdom of the pharaohs. On the other, the Tigris and Euphrates gave birth to the land of the first cities. This is the story of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, how they began, how they peaked, how they fell, and what they left behind. Welcome to Epoch to Era. Both Egypt and Mesopotamia rose around rivers, but those rivers shaped them very differently. In Mesopotamia, the land between rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, flooded unpredictably. Life here was a battle against nature, and the first city-states, Sumer, Akkad, Ur, emerged as defensive strongholds. Writing was born here. Cuneiform, etched into clay tablets, became the first recorded script. Egypt, by contrast, had the gentle, dependable Nile. Its floods enriched the soil with almost clockwork precision. This allowed for unity early on, around 3100 CID BC. Upper and Lower Egypt were united under one pharaoh. While Mesopotamia fragmented into rival cities, Egypt became one vast centralized state. In Mesopotamia, King Sargon of Akkad created what many call the First Empire around 2334 BCE. Later came Hammurabi of Babylon, whose code of laws would become world famous. Innovation thrived. Irrigation, mathematics, astronomy. They mapped constellations and divided the hour into 60 minutes. Egypt was rising too. The Old Kingdom saw the construction of the Great Pyramids at Giza, a feat of engineering and divine ambition. Pharaohs were not kings alone. They were gods. The state controlled resources tightly: grain, labor, even time itself. Hieroglyphs were carved into stone and temples, forming a sacred link between man and the divine. Both regions built religious systems to explain life, death, and floods. But while Mesopotamian gods were often vengeful and chaotic, Egypt's pantheon offered order and rebirth. Mesopotamia reached its zenith under the Babylonian and Assyrian empires. Babylon became a jewel of the ancient world, with towering ziggurats and the legendary Hanging Gardens. The Assyrians forged a brutal military empire, conquering from Egypt to Iran. But their power made them hated and unstable. Egypt's peak came during the New Kingdom, a golden age of pharaohs like Hatshepsut, Akhenaten, and Ramesses II. They expanded Egypt's reach into Nubia and the Levant. Massive temples rose at Luxor and Karnak. Art, medicine, and science flourished under royal patronage. While Mesopotamian power fractured under successive invasions, Egypt remained remarkably consistent for nearly 3,000 years. Mesopotamia's downfall came slowly. Empire after empire rose and fell. The Babylonians, Assyrians, Chaldeans, and finally the Persians. Constant warfare, soil exhaustion, and fractured leadership led to decline. By the time of Alexander the Great, Mesopotamia had lost much of its original character. Egypt, too, began to fade. After Ramses III, internal corruption and foreign invasions weakened the kingdom. By 332 BCE, Alexander the Great marched into Egypt, founding Alexandria and ending native Egyptian rule. Eventually, Rome absorbed it. The age of pharaohs was over, yet both left legacies that echo to this day. Mesopotamia gave us the wheel, writing, laws, and astronomy, tools of civilization itself. Egypt gave us architecture, medicine, art, and a legacy of mythic kingship that still inspires awe. They shaped how we measure time, how we rule, and how we remember. One born from chaos, the other from calm. Two different worlds, one shared destiny, to become the cradle of human history. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Epoch to Era, where more untold stories are waiting.